Hello again, everybody. Zekatech is here. My thoughts on the reveal of the class of 2016 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees. They just publicly announced. I should have known they were going to be coming up because they revealed who got the fan vote, because fans got to vote on which one of the nominees would get a fan vote out of it. And then we got the 5 inductees now going in the Hall of Fame this year, and I think most of them deserve, including finally one big metal band finally going after years of ignorance. Plus a lot of 70s rock bands who were the kings of FM 70s rock going into Hall of Fame, which could open up the door for bands like Journey, The Doobies, among others. Plus, another rap group goes in the Hall of Fame, which is, I think, the 5th rap group to be inducted to the Hall of Fame, coming up the heels of the Bio movie. So let's get started with the metal band finally getting in after years of ignorance. Hell, even James Hetfield, when Metallica got in, name-checked him to get in the Hall of Fame. But finally, effingly, Deep Purple are going into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. A lot of these bands have been eligible for years, but they never been put on the ballot until like many years later, especially Deep Purple. Very, very much well deserved to be in the Hall of Fame. Hell, Smoke in the Water deserved automatic first ballot. But it took them a lot of years to be on the ballot, a couple times, and ignored it, and they're finally in. Other big hits of theirs included, of course, Space Truckin', Burn, and then various informations, with, of course, Richie Blackwell being the focal point of the had Mach 1, Mach 2, Mach 3, and many lead singers from Ian Gillan to David Coverdale. Of course, the current lineup I saw this year, of course, Ian Gillan still on the lead vocals, so is drummer Ian Pace, who released a statement today saying that I knew it would happen one day going in the Hall of Fame. I do appreciate how difficult it was for them with so many lineups, so many members. Because there's so many members, it's a minefield, really. I suppose it's very nice. Of course, the biggest question mark, will Richie Blackmore perform with Deep Purple? Especially knowing the well-publicized public feud with Ian Gillan. Richie is kind of playing rock again. I mean, he's doing some rock shows. But we shall see. Ian Pace's thoughts on Richie possibly performing with with Deep Purple members like himself and Ian Gillan, among others, saying that's questionable. He'll confuse you sometimes. You'll think he'll do one thing, but he'll do the other. I would have put money either way on that one. So who knows if Richie Blackmore would not only show up, but to perform with Ian Gillan. And the current information of Deep Purple that includes, I forget who plays the guitar. Steve Morse, I think. Steve Morse, I think he's taking it over for him now. On the current lineup, like I said, I saw him this year at Freedom Hill when they weren't self-indulgent and got to the good shit, like Smoke in the Water, like Space Truckin', like Highway Star. How could we not mention Deep Purple without even mentioning Highway Star? One of the other big songs. Even though they skipped Women from Tokyo when I saw them, Deep Purple finally going in. You have the years of ignorance. That's what happens. Like Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, some call the Rock and Roll Hall of Shame because it takes a long time to recognize people that should have been in a long effing time ago. When they finally get in, it's well freaking deserved, but it's like, it's about damn time. You know what I mean? They've been on the ballot multiple times, and now they're finally going in. We have another band that had been on the ballot multiple times and are finally going in. I mentioned about them being the 5th rap group going into the Hall of Fame, coming off the heels, and I think they really benefited from their biofilm this year. Straight out of Compton. Yep. NWA going in the Hall of Fame this year. They were nominated for the class of 2013 against Public Enemy, who would go in over them. And I think, like, a lot of people have their comments about whether or not rap groups deserve to be a part of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It's been a big debate since rap groups started getting in when Grandmaster Flash went in 2007. When DMC went in, so did, as mentioned, Public Enemy, and the Beastie Boys have gone in. And like I said, it's a fifth group. Rock and roll can be anything. It can be country. It doesn't need to be substandard to just being rock guys. I know people have debate on it because of pop people in there too, like Madonna among others. But NWA had a huge influence on the entire music spectrum, not just rock and roll and rap. Of course, the members of NWA would go on to have very successful careers, not just in the rap game, but also entrepreneurship and acting careers. Of course, the story of NWA was, of course, 1987 with the famous Boys in the Hood by Eazy-E. He wrote it, and of course, the group performed on it. Of course, Eazy would tragically pass away of AIDS in HIV in 1995. So it would have been awesome for him to be living through this time and see his rap group can acknowledge like this. Even though he probably would be like, yeah, I didn't expect this and may not appreciate it, but it's still kind of cool to be acknowledged. Of course, the other members, we had MC Wan, Yella, and of course the two most notable members of NWA who would go on to, as I mentioned, these entrepreneurship and acting careers, Dr. Dre and Ice Cube. Of course, Dr. Dre would go on to be most prolific rap producers and discover talent like Snoop Dogg and Eminem. They would go on to start Aftermath Entertainment and, of course, Death Row with Suge Knight. And Ice Cube go on to have another success as good of a solo career as Dr. Dre. And, of course, a very successful movie career. Friday, Barbershop, go down the list. Are we there yet? Ride Along, it's a solid trail for Ride Along 2 yesterday. So there's been a lot of movies. I saw Ice Cube a couple years ago with Public Enemy. Same year Public Enemy went into the Hall of Fame. And Ice Cube had the crowd going. He got the best reception out of all the bands I saw. It was like Ice Cube, LL Cool J, and Public Enemy and De La Soul. Yeah, but this track can't go to many concerts. I just got a ticket to Adele. I had to put it out there. But hey. So, Ice Cube was best sounding and I had the crowd going the most out of all the acts over there. I was a Public Enemy guy. Huge PE guy. But Ice Cube was good too. Like, he was the best. PE was my favorite, but Ice Cube was the best sounding. The crowd went nuts for the most. So there you go. NWA going in the Hall of Fame. Then we had two bands, actually a couple bands going in first ballot. After years of being eligible, they wouldn't put it on a ballot until now. 3 bands going in first time. First time filing about after being, of course, if you don't know, the eligibility period, 25 years after your first single. And these 3 bands have been long past that 25-year mark and have not been on the ballot until now. And those 3 bands finally got in first ballot, including the band that won the fan ballot, Chicago. Known from their thrilling horn sound. I think Chicago deserves a spot in the Hall of Fame. When I saw the list of who was eligible this year, of who was on the ballot this year, like there's a few bands that kind of like stuck out that being eligible. Obviously, Deep Purple finally getting in after getting shafted so many years. Chicago's interesting to see, man. Very interesting to see Chicago in. They got an influence, the San Francisco sound, the band and the horn sound. It was something you didn't hear in much popular music, especially popular rock music. been around for almost over 40 years, with hit songs like Saturday in the Park, 25 or 6 to 4. Just You and Me, I just played that in one of my gigs the other night. Getting strong every day. And of course, we're going to a very popular period in the 80s, dominated by pop power ballads written by Peter Cetera, like You're the Inspiration, If You Leave Me Now, among others. Of course, Peter Cetera left the group, and he hasn't performed with the band in a while. Kind of like Deep Purple's had former members that have some bad blood. I'll get to another band that had some bad blood in a second. We'll be very interested to see how they're going to go. Like Deep Purple questioning if Richie Blackmore will perform with him, will Peter Cetera perform? One of the members, who is very happy about the honor, has said that sounds fine to me when it comes to a possibility of former members being able to join him, including Peter Cetera. Lee Lovename said that I haven't spoken with Peter in a while, but if he wants to come sing with us, come on, baby. I'm ready. We're still playing the tunes. I think he is too. I have a Peter Cetera DVD too. I get all these videos on DVD, all these live performances. I got Chicago live DVD and a Peter Cetera DVD. I played them both. I think I played Chicago during Just You and Me, and then Peter Cetera doing You're the Inspiration. So he should know the material. And of course, when it comes to Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and who gets the honor, specific members will get in. Like mostly founding members, maybe not new members will get honored. But Lee said he is very excited. There was no one that had been eligible for a long time actually being nominated and then being accepted. You know, previous to this, people didn't know we were in. We weren't in. Was surprised when they found out. Everyone assumed we were in it. We just kept working. You know, there's a lot of bands that should have been in a long time ago, like Deep Purple. But in Chicago's case, they said it's very exciting. I had no idea it would be as exciting as it is. There was never any despairing about it because we were still working, and we all still working. Whether we're honored with it or not, we're still working. We've had many other honors given to us previously. We know full well that you get the honor and then you move on with your life. So it's very exciting, and I'm very looking forward to it. So, congrats to Chicago. 2 more bands, like I said, been eligible for years and never put on a ballot until now, getting in. And 2 bands I have seen in concert before as well. The only band on this ballot I haven't seen in concert is Chicago. You know, I haven't seen the full lineup of NWA before, but at least, like I said, I've seen Ice Cube. I've seen these next guys twice, including one time opening up for Motley Crue. Cheap Trick going in the Hall of Fame this year. And I think they do deserve a placement. I was talking to this with my dad, my roadie. He didn't think Cheap Trick deserved a spot in the Hall of Fame. But I think they did. The Kings of Power Pop Rock. Coming out of Illinois in the 70s. Robin Zander, Buddy Carlos, and of course, Wig Nielsen, should I say, came out of the rock scene with big hits like Surrender, The Dream Police. That's my favorite, Surrender. And of course, the ever-popular classic rock hit, I Want You to Want Me, specifically taken from their live album, Live at Budokan, which will become their breakthrough album. Seeing how other bands like Kiss and Peter Frampton got popular after the live albums came out, Cheap Trick followed that same formula. It wasn't a double album, but it was still one of the most sentimental live albums of the 70s. Of course, there was other good songs like Hello There, Ladies and Gentlemen, and so many other great power pop rock hits. They had a little fallout in the 80s. Early 80s, they had some rough periods until, of course, their only number 1 hit, The Flame, 1988, the power ballad from Blackpool Luxury. A lot of members have come and gone. And like I said earlier, there's some bands that there's be question marks about whether or not the original members will get back together, including Bunny Carlos, who has been unceremoniously been thrown out of the band, and they're battling a lawsuit right now, if I'm not mistaken. big question about Bunny Carlos and some lawsuit stuff, but Bunny Carlos being not allowed to perform with them, blah, 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 blah. But Rick Nielsen says that he is open to Bunny Carlos joining him on stage to perform a song or two. Saying that if he's there, great. Bunny's definitely a big part of our history for sure. Dax will be there, the current drummer. But if Bunny's there, great. So that was Rick Nielsen's thoughts on it. He even has his thoughts on the other inductees, saying that he's looking forward to being NWA. It'd be nice to have a 2016 version of Cheap Trick NWA like Aerosmith did with One DFC. I'm going to put my thinking cap on about that. If nothing else, maybe I'll get some Dre Beat headphones. So that's kind of cool about Nielsen. Probably knows the other inductees going in. And when it comes to what he'll wear, I think what I wear on stage is my kind of tux. You know, his on-stage gear has been legendary. I'll stick to that. So there you go. I've seen Cheap Trick twice. And they are a very great rock band live. And I think, like I said, they do, as deservingly so, deserve to be in the Hall of Fame this year. So now on to the fifth performer going in this year. Like Cheap Trick, eligible for years, but not put on the ballot to now. First time on the ballot and getting in after the first time. A man I just saw last year as a special guest for Journey, Steve Miller Band, going in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And I do think Steve Miller deserves a spot in the Hall of Fame. His bluesy rock style influenced so many bands and artists with many hit singles, including, of course, The Joker, The Snake, Take the Money and One, Woo Woo Woo, Rockin' Me Baby, Jet Airliner, Jungle Love, and of course, whether you hate it or love it, you gotta admit, it's a catchy ass song, Abba, Abba, Cadabra, I wanna reach out and grab ya. So, very happy to see he's going in. I'm happy he's in, and so is Steve Miller himself, saying that I'm stunned by the news and baffled at how it looks, and have given up thinking about it. So it's a very pleasant surprise. Like I said, the voting system's kind of fucked up. That's why it's taken so many bands so long to get in. Deep Purple. So, Steve said there wasn't any urgency. I became eligible and nothing happened, and it sort of went on for a while. And people started complaining. That's the thing. When people are eligible for a certain period but don't get in right away, a lot of fans rallied. That's how Kiss got in. You know, that's how Rush got in. A lot of fans started rallying for them to finally get in. Same with Deep Purple. You know, a lot of bands, it had to take a lot of fight to get them in the Hall of Fame. They're finally in. You know, like what happened to Kiss and Rush. Now finally Deep Purple. And also Steve Miller Band. I'm happy for it. I'm happy for my fans. And it's a great class to go in with. I've known Chicago for 50 years. We used to play shows at the Avalon Ballroom in Chicago. If I had to pick a group of my peers, I could have picked a better group to join me to be in the same class. You know, being Chicago, who I just mentioned. I can't believe they won the fan vote. I thought Deep Purple would have been the fan vote. But Chicago did, and that's why they're in, because the fans kind of helped to get them in. Once again, making my point about it earlier, the fans rally for their favorite bands to go in the Hall of Fame after years of being ignored. So those are the 5 inductees who are going in this year in the class of 2016 Hall of Fame to be taking place April 8th at the Barclays Center. This will be the second time it's been there. They were there in 2014. This year, 2015, they were in Cleveland. They were in Cleveland every 3 years, which is where the museum is. Makes kind of sense. And of course, for the 4th year in a row, HBO will be handling the distribution rights for the television airing, which will air probably in May, under Playtone, which is Tom Hanks's production company. Of course, a lot of bands, but those 5 got in. A lot of bands got shafted, including Sheik, who's been on the ballot 10 times and cannot catch a break. Can they just give it up already? Sheik's not going in. I know Sheik's had some influence in disco, but they only have like 2 good songs. Also not going in this year. Yes, has been about multiple times. I think Yes's time will come. Seeing Chicago get in and seeing Deep Purple get in, and also Steve Miller Band will open up the door for people like Yes to finally go in. I think they've been about like 2 or 3 times now. I need to be correct on that because I know a lot of people. When I made my video on the predictions of who I think winning, I was kind of inaccurate on some things. So, don't want to be too inaccurate this time around for my thoughts on who is going in. Also, Janet Jackson didn't go in this year. She was on the ballot for the first time ever as a solo artist. I think she'll go in eventually. It just wasn't her time. Because a lot of more deserving bands who have been on the ballot more times than her, like Deep Purple, are finally going in. Even if you did see people like Steve Miller and Cheap Trick and Chicago go in first ballot. So, I think 9 Inch Nails won that list too. And The Cause were finally on the list after so many years of being ignored. I think The Cause, their time will come too. But there was one other power pop rock band going in this year. That was Cheap Trick. So I think Cause will go in eventually. As for bands who weren't on the ballot this year, that could go in eventually, like I said, with a lot of 70s radio rock bands like Cheap Trick, Steve Miller, and Chicago getting in, it'll open up the doors for not just Yes, but also Journey to get in, the Doobies to get in. I can't believe the Doobies aren't in. Like Chicago, you think that Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is a shoo-in for them. But no, they're not in it. The Doobies ain't in it. So I think they should get in eventually. Even the Hall of Fame themselves know that they're finally filling in the holes in the rankings of the Hall of Fame when it comes to certain periods that they haven't touched upon, like 70s rock bands, among others, including Moody Blues, who aren't in either. And also with Deep Purple going in, maybe we'll get some more metal bands that do deserve it, like Judas fucking Priest should be in there. Bon Jovi should be in there. I think Bon Jovi were on the ballot before, but they didn't get in. But I think Priest should go in before Jovi, in my opinion. And also Motorhead should go in there. But at least Deep Purple's going in there. So there you go. My thoughts on who is going in the Hall of Fame this year. The 5 nominees who are going in to this year's class of 2016. And people who were on the ballot that did not get in, but may get in another time. And bands who weren't on the ballot that should be on the ballot for the class of 2017. Like Journey, Judas Priest, like other great people. So there you go. That's it for my thoughts on that. Thank you very much for sitting through it. With that in mind, you've been attacked by the thoughts from Zach. See you later. Yeah.